name's Jeff Platonic. I've been involved in fitness for the last 20 years. I've made it a career, but also chosen to make it a lifestyle. And I feel choosing to make it a lifestyle makes my decisions and makes my commitment, my goals that much easier, knowing what I'm working towards and knowing and seeing the benefits of that. Before we get started, I introduce myself to you. So I actually want you to turn to your right or left, give one of your neighbors a high five, give a handshake, introduce yourself to someone. That's so important to make sure we're always part of the community. Those are some weak high fives, and we can work on that later. It's all about improvement. It's all about improvement. So without further ado, welcome everyone. Thank you for spending the time on Thursday evening. I have to make sure I got that right. Yes, on a Thursday evening coming out. And as we go, and before we get started, because we're always in this fast-paced environment, we're always go, heads down on our phones, worrying about traffic, always worrying about what that next step is, what the next move, thinking about the past. What I always like to do, and what I want to start with right now, is for everyone to just close your eyes for a second. I want everyone to just close their eyes. And when was the last time you took a really deep breath in and held it in and relaxed? So we're going to do that for a few times now. So keep with your eyes shut. Let's all take that deep breath in. I want you to hold that breath in. Let that breath sink in before you want to just push it out. Now, as we slowly exhale, take the time to exhale too. Things don't need to be rushed. And that's what I want to relate to life as well. Let's take that nice, deep, fresh breath of air in. And then as we exhale, so we can kind of get that energy, we can get that stress, that anxiety out from the body. So when you do that a couple more times, just taking that deep breath in and out, still keeping those eyes shut. Keep them open if you like, but again, just working on that breathing. Let's take a second to just calm down. And what I want to talk about and kind of touch on tonight is taking back your life. And it's all about you versus you. So as we just open our eyes, I want everyone, I hope you feel a bit more relaxed. And if you do feel stressed or you feel too tense during the day, take that second for yourself. Take that deep breath, pause, calm it down, slow it down. You're going to be able to recollect your thoughts, reassess any situation, but you'll be able to go with it with more clarity and with a better, more better outcome, I should say. Again, like I mentioned before, I am involved in fitness for the last 20 years. I actually love what I do, and it was actually scary to kind of get started as a personal trainer, young entrepreneur going at it on my own. But you've got to get out of your comfort zone to progress. You've got to make sure that you're going above and beyond what you're used to make sure you kind of get out of that bubble. A lot of times what I like to say, like again, we live in this busy world where we're not sure if we're doing things right. We're second guessing. I want to make a comparison, and I want you to think about this if you're living a full life or a fulfilled life. And there's a big difference between the two of those. A lot of times we're saying yes to friends. We want the promotions. We're staying later at work. We're waking up earlier to get to the gym. We're doing so many things. And we're filling that bucket. But do you really feel fulfilled? And that's what becoming the best version of you is. There's so many different factors that's going to get you there. And it's all about taking that first initial step. And I want to give everyone a credit by coming here tonight. You made that first step. This may not be your first step, but it's a step towards, again, the better you, the best version of you, and bettering yourselves. As we go forward, just think about what you might want to do. And goals, set easy goals, something that you can manage, whether it be working out 10 minutes once a day, and then maybe the next week, upping it to 20 minutes, but at least getting started and keeping that consistency. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen, is way better than capacity. All right, so as you think about that, consistency outweighs capacity. So as you go through life, any small changes you make that are going to help better yourselves, whether it be working out, eating better, exercising, doing some breath work, like we can all practice doing as well. But anything is going to help you feel better for yourself and have you kind of, like I mentioned in the beginning, slow it down. Life is precious. Life is beautiful. And if we keep our face down, we're not aware, we're not in the present, it's just going to go blow by us right away. So my advice to you, please, if there's something you're going after, start it. If you're uncomfortable about doing something, even more, start it. And don't be afraid to fail. Pick yourself right back up and keep going. Failure is an option. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's just something that is a part of life. And we need to make sure we can deal with things with the best that we can, making sure we work on, yes, health, like again, one of the speakers there, Alicia, will touch on the benefits of a healthy lifestyle, training, and again, like I mentioned, the consistency. So whatever you might be doing and whatever changes you're making in your life right now, keep that consistency. It will be hard, it will be difficult, it will be intimidating, it will be tough, but it can be done. So I really want you to hit that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can try. Yes, I'll do it. If I can't do it now, I'll get it done tomorrow, the next day. There's no time limit. So please, as you push through, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a lot of different speakers that will give you a lot of tips and tools to kind of figure out what best path or strategies to put in place that are going to get you to that better version of yourself, or have you feeling more empowered and feeling less stress and less anxiety. And that's so important because, again, think about having a fulfilled life, which we all strive for, or a full life. And when you say a full life, it seems busy. It's that you want to feel good about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. You want to know that you've done your best, but not second guess yourself with the efforts that you put in. Right? So as you go through, please, what I say, always strive for the best. Yes, you can. It's you versus you. And hey, start something new, do it, figure out that why reason, stick to that why, and keep doing it. And again, thank you for your time. I wish everyone the best and have a great night.
You know what? Oh my gosh, that was amazing. You know what? I realized Michaela's gonna put a timer on because all the speakers have 5 minutes. And he really finished right on time. So next we have Mike and Lula. Am I saying that correctly? And Mike and Lula, you are also Venture X community members, correct? Amazing. Okay. There you go. I will put a sign up for 1 minute. Michaela, you'll do the timer? Okay.
I'm just gonna take a moment to say hello to everybody. He's gonna be speaking. I'm gonna be at the table, so you can come by and say hello and ask us any questions. Good to see you. Thank you.
Should I just go ahead, or are we setting?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. We're good. Just gonna give you the mic. All right, feel a timer?
You might go ahead. Don't want to cheat. I'm good. All right. Exactly. He's going to keep me honest. Welcome, everybody. We just had a fantastic welcome and intro. Okay, this is great. I need that timer because otherwise I won't know where I'm at. So my name is Mike Popovich. You've all met my partner in life and in our business, Lua Safarini. And we are initiates in the lineage. And we're going to talk about lineages and what they mean, because I think today it's not just going to be individual speeches. I think or individual talks. From this first talk that we had, I got this feeling it's like going to be this continuous learning process for all of us. And we're all going to learn something different from each one of us, as though it's one long talk of all of us. So today is about creating resilience, having energy, creating joy, right? And also accessing our divine potential. By the way, 5, 6,
Yes.
okay, all right, fantastic. Okay, so
Jumping jacks.
push-ups. All right, so it is also finding resilience, finding joy, and finding that inner creative potential and being in it, that field of genius, a zone of genius, right? Because this is what we're all craving for. We're all, from what I can tell, entrepreneurs of some sort, or entrepreneurs of businesses of some sort. And as entrepreneurs, we know what it means to work really hard, to take ourselves to that limit more than once. But we've also learned how to create coping mechanisms or ways to balance ourselves in our lives. Right? We go in, we enjoy that drink on the patio with some friends, yeah? We go on vacation. And sometimes, I mean, how many of you feel that when you go on vacation, as you're going to the airport, all of a sudden your zone of genius wakes up. You create it, everything's relaxed, you're good to go. It's like, whoa, I can think. And while you're on vacation, you remember everything, you come back, and for that first day, you kind of keep the zone of genius until you hit the world and everything comes back to what it was, where you find your mechanisms, your rhythm. You have a busy day, you relax with the tea, the patio, with some friends. and you repeat this cycle of rhythms, you honor the principle of rhythms in your life. But eventually what happens is there's this inner restlessness that wakes up. This inner restlessness that no matter how many coping mechanisms or how many, and I won't call them coping mechanisms anymore, it's no matter how many tools we add to our toolbox, this inner yearning for more constantly comes up. And that inner yearning comes from something deeper than the physical, the emotional, the mental. We've already got tools for that. That inner yearning comes from our soul. And our soul is asking us to find that next step level change in our life. So if you think of us, of yourself, of everybody around you as a building with 12 floors. The 12 floors is very specific for this example. Those 12 floors are what's called our physical dimensions, the things that we're intended to master within our lifetime here in the physical world. The first few pertain to the physical, mental, and the emotional, whichever way you want to order them for yourself. And wherever we are right now, whatever floor we've managed to get ourselves anchored into in our lives, the tools that we have, the working out, the eating properly, those are all super important. And they help us access something deeper. But most of our tools, actually, almost entirely, all of our tools in the physical, give us access to more of the floor that we already reside in. And what our soul is asking us to do is to take that next step level change, and that next step level change tends to come from something more ancient. That next step level change comes from accessing more within our divine blueprint, our spiritual DNA. And to access that, that's what the lineages do. Thousands of years of human growth and potential and evolution have taken us to a place where there's many lineages. And their job has been to hold the keys for us, to be able to take those step level changes that we need to find the right doors for. And the lineages are the custodians of how we can get to that divine blueprint and architecture inside of ourselves. So they are a path of progression with the technologies that take us to the next step, that put all the things that we already know, meditation and all these other techniques, to work. If you want to know more, my name is Mike Popovich. This is Guru Safarini. We're over here in the corner back there. We're actually giving away a free raffle to one of the tools that we use for people called the life activation, the DNA life activation. Turn on some lights inside of you that your subconscious is looking for to make the next steps we want to make. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next speaker. Oh, it's Tatiana. Let's give a round of applause. Tatiana, go.
Well, I guess you guys got the perfect lineup because I am just going to continue from that. My energy.
Your energy is like.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Tatiana Vanau. I am a master manifestor. I'm just gonna say it right then and out there. I created abracadabra manifesting manipulation, if you want to call it this way, but I came into particular knowledge, spiritual knowledge, that I have had a lot of powers, and I had ability to see, hear, and feel things that I couldn't describe. I didn't know how I knew things. I didn't know how I could foresee things. But what I came across is one thing that I needed to share this, because apparently my abilities were able to help other people. So I started to share. And my main mission became that I would love to help people to step into their internal spiritual power and find that they're looking for, their purpose, and manifest it into their current reality, into this lifetime. So one of the things I would like to talk about is just overall, what is like manifestation? Whether you like it or not, every one of us manifests 24/7 at every given moment but we do majority of it subconsciously. So what is subconscious? The subconscious is something like a computer hard drive, for example. But if you like to use a computer and this hard drive without any applications, it literally does nothing for you. And our conscious is like the applications that you would download in order to do the things you would like to do in your life. So how do we get these applications to work for us in our current life? Number one thing, subconscious, how it works. We literally, until age of 7, just learn everything, all the behaviors of our parents, relatives, people around us in our communities, and we just mimic them. And eventually we became one of them. So limiting beliefs, fears, traditions, everything is learned. So it doesn't necessarily belong particularly to you, it belongs to other people, but because you've learned it and it's now part of your daily routine that you don't even think about, you are now stuck with these beliefs and this behavior, and you can't really break it until you realize, until you become aware that there is a limiting belief, until you believe that there is a fear, and where is this fear coming from? So one of the first things that I would like to talk about is the 7 pillars of manifestations. And the very first one is awareness. What is awareness? Awareness, to me personally, is your consciousness. It's you becoming still and becoming aware of the fact that certain things don't belong to you. And these things, you can let it go. However, you need to learn how to do it. That awareness is, I call it also my spiritual GPS. And the spiritual GPS will guide you into the right direction if you learn how to listen to it. It could come in form of number. Someone comes up to you and says this one phrase that you're like, oh my God, I literally just thought that. Or someone gives you a call, you're like, I just thought about them, and why are they calling me? I actually had this personal experience with Carmelia, where universe just sent me 3 messages back to back to back, and was like, call her, and I was like, I'm calling you, I don't know why, but we're gonna figure this out. Universe literally told me this, right?
Yeah.
10 years ago. And that was when I started to become more and more spiritually aware of my powers and the things that I can do for others to help, also myself, obviously. But then I became more and more aware that these things are not something that I should keep quiet about. These are the things that I should tell people about, so then they could find out for themselves what they can do with it. Okay, so give me a second, just because I had a really long speech and then it got cut down a little bit. So it's okay.
Well, do 2 more tips and then they can meet you
Okay.
at your
So
table.
second would be visual. So you have a particular visual path of what you want your life to look like, right? And if you do, some people do, some people don't. But if you do, you can make it happen. However, some people actually do not or cannot close their eyes and see a picture. So how do you feel that? Or how do you make that visual picture happen? Well, you would have to write it down, you have to draw it, you have to create it in any other aspect, which would be a language. In any way of expression, it would be a language. So abracadabra is actually a language description of, and what it means is, I create as I speak. So you have the power to create as you speak, which is the third modality, affirmations. When you affirm yourself certain things, you instantly will feel a certain ache within a body if it's not true. You would feel something doesn't sit right. You would feel a ball in your throat if you can't speak. You would feel it somewhere. Again, going back to awareness, pay attention. Your body will tell you what is that limiting belief. And if you're gonna keep telling affirmations that don't sit well with you, you're gonna have to work through them as one of the healing things that you will have to go through in order to bypass and visualize the life of your dream and then create it and manifest it. Number 4 would be gratitude. Personally, one of the biggest things for me is gratitude, simply because I came from a very humble beginning, very traumatic childhood. And I I think I got through a lot of my pain in life and traumas through being able to see things from gratefulness, being able to feel happy and forgive for the things that were done to me in order for me to be who I am today. Without those things, I wouldn't be here. So gratitude is a huge, huge thing. I have manifested amazing things in my life that I'm endlessly grateful for. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, if you can just be grateful for the fact that you open your eyes, you're here and you can change the world, and you can change yourself, and you can do so many amazing things. Man, that's already a great start for a day. Thank you.
We gotta go.
All right, so if anyone want to learn a little more, you can come see me at that table. Otherwise, have a fantastic evening.
My God, we can go on, and by the way, she like literally when I asked her to speak, so I'm gonna wing it, and so thank you so much for that. It's very, very true. I'll just quickly say, when she reached out to me 10 years ago, did not know who, actually, we did, we went Christmas morning to give out, food and, to homeless people. It was, do you remember the name of it?
Yeah, hero.
Oh, Hunger for Heroes. And so we went around the city of Toronto and gave out food and blankets and everything to the homeless in Toronto. And then the next day, I think she was in my inbox and says, I don't know why I need to meet you, but we need to connect. And ever since then, she's been like my soul sister. So it's incredible. Thank you for reaching out. And I just wanted to say, like, if you have people here in this room, there's a lot of, I'm connected to a lot of people in this room, as is Jessica. And it's so amazing for me to see the various degrees of connection. And so please do not, to take advantage. I said, not to not take. Don't miss the opportunity to connect with the people in this room. You never know. Somebody in this room could change your life. They could be your partner, maybe, in business or in love. There's singles here, okay? There are singles. I know who you are. Oh, Alicia, the next single, Alicia. Okay, we're calling it out to the universe. Let's all manifest love for every person in this room. Without further ado, Alicia, is it Belle? Alicia Belle. And by the way, she was just on Drake's live stream. Are you gonna get the 50 bands? What do you think?
I better.
You better. But yeah, what you can share that, lead with that, and she's talking about fueling strength. So let's give it up for Alicia.
Hey, I'm gonna sit down. Because I don't work out or anything, but you guys all have to stand up now, because you guys have been sitting down for a bit. So everybody stand up, shake some off, catch some air. Okay, before you guys sit down, what I want you guys to do is put your hands on your hips. So everybody like this. Okay, this is called a power pose. So the reason why you're standing in this power pose is because it's very important, because strength is not just in the gym and setting PRs. Strength is how you carry yourself into a room. And I'm a professional bodybuilder and IFBB pro as well. And in figure, this is what we call our power pose. So you want to look strong. You want to look like you know what you're doing. You want to look like you belong here. So you guys all belong here. You guys are all strong. And now I'll let you guys sit down and you can listen to my ramble. So let's see, what gives me the right to be here to talk to you guys? I've done a lot. I have probably trained your favorite rapper, trained your favorite rapper's mom, trained your favorite basketball player, hung out with them, and all the works. I'm a kinesiologist, and like I said, I'm an IFBB pro. I am a regional manager for some fitness studios here in Toronto, but on top of that, I also run an online coaching business, posing business. I do all the things. Originally from a small town in New Brunswick called Plaster Rock. It's not even a town, it's actually a village of 1,200 people. So why on earth am I in Toronto doing all these things? I have no idea, but I must have manifested it. But yeah, I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about strength and nutrition, and I'm not going to get into all the boring details that you guys heard 1,000 times. Walk your 10,000 steps, make sure you're in the gym 3 to 5 times a week, eat 5 small meals a day. That's not realistic for most people. And you don't have to do what I do when I compete. That's an extreme. It's an extreme for most
Nobody
people.
wants to do that.
I do, but not everybody wants to do that, and I understand you guys are all busy professionals. It's hard to get all those things in that people say you should do. So, what I want to start with is that strength isn't all about setting PRs, like I had you guys stand up, get in that strong position. Strength looks different on everybody. So what's strong for me might not be strong for you. I was making Drake curl 50-pound dumbbells on his live stream and beating Aiden Ross in a bicep curl contest to win 50K, but that's fine. Not everybody can do that or wants to do that. What you should do is something that you enjoy. Now, I believe that fitness and strength comes in different ways. You can be strong doing yoga. You can be strong going to someplace like Othership and going into a meditative thing in a sauna. And then it doesn't have to be one size fits all. It can be going to Jeff's gym, Fit Factory. I don't even know if you mentioned that. So it can, yeah. Be going to Fit Factory. It can be going to one of the studios I manage at 45, his competition. Or it can be going to a yoga studio. What's important is that you're moving and you're doing something that you love. You don't need to do it 7 times a week. You just need to start somewhere. So somewhere could be once a week. That's where it is. You could be doing that now. And if you are, give yourself a pat on the back, like congratulations, you're working hard. But strength isn't about setting those PRs, and that's what I kind of just wanted to hone in on my first point. I have notes. Second is that for nutrition, when you come to your nutrition, it is not about this toxic diet culture. It's not about eating only protein. It's not about being on a carnivore diet. It's not about following a restrictive diet. What it is about making small changes that will lead to big results. And I didn't get to be a bodybuilder overnight, obviously, but again, I did small changes in my life that led up to the point where, hey, maybe I should compete. And then I competed. So for you, small changes you might look at, the world says I need to drink 4 liters of water a day. I'm drinking a cup in the morning. The rest is soda and coffee. Okay, well, how about we try a second glass of water? That's
But how many liters are you supposed to drink, really?
No one size fits all, but if you're
Tell me 0, I'm not kidding.
if you're active, I mean, the body's a lot of water. You need to replenish that. And if you're sweating like I am right now, you need to replenish those electrolytes. So I would say for the average person, saying 3 to 4 liters is not realistic. The amount you should be drinking is more than you're probably drinking. So make that small change and drink a little bit more. But yeah, ideally 3 to 4 liters, but we're not gonna force you to pee every 5 minutes. But what would help you out in your life, and it'll help you with your metabolism, it'll help you with your digestion, it will help with your energy, the more water that you have. That's just one little thing that you can change in your diet. You can start by, maybe you do not like vegetables, but you like smoothies. Put some spinach in your smoothie, and that's gonna get some nutrients, some micronutrients into what you got going on. It's just small changes. I don't ever expect any of my clients to make 10 changes at once when they come to me and they say, I eat McDonald's for breakfast, then I have Tim Hortons for lunch, and at home I have a shake. Like, I can't change that diet overnight. I will make small increments throughout the process with them to make it realistic for them. And I think that's what you guys need to really focus on when you want to improve your health, is to make small incremental changes along your journey, whatever your journey looks like, to become that better person for whatever that better person is for you. But always remember that you need to be strong in life, and that's going to carry you on in everything else. And that will reflect on in your nutrition. When you show up strong, you want to continue to be strong in every area of your life. And I think that's what we all kind of need to remember, that nobody's perfect. You don't have to make 1,000 changes. You don't have to do 1,000 push-ups every morning. You don't have to drink your Saratoga water. If anyone knows what I'm referring to. But you don't have to have a crazy routine. You have to have a routine that works for you. And I find for me, I just schedule things. Scheduling works well for me. It might not work well for you, but I find it's very, very important for me to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing at this time. This is the meal I'm eating. This is when I'm exercising. If you make an appointment with yourself, you're more apt to get it done if you make an appointment with yourself. Because as you guys know, probably busy business professional, if you have a meeting at 9 o'clock, you are at work at 10 to 9, and you're not going to miss that meeting, right? So why would you want to not miss that meeting with yourself? So if you take away anything, it's just be strong in life, whatever that looks like for you, and just make small changes, and they're gonna make a huge difference. And again, manifest those goals for your health and your fitness, just like you would manifest for your business, career goals, and things like that, and you guys will see a lot of success. So, yeah, I hope that was not longer than 5 minutes. And I hope it was people you guys up for it.
It was amazing. Everyone's been going a little bit longer than 5 minutes, but we don't mind, right? We want to get all the goodies. So thank you. Next, we have Jody Weston.
All right.
And by the way, after the talks, Jack and Alicia are there. You'll see where everybody's located. So they really want an opportunity to speak with everyone. Don't be shy, say hello. And without further ado, we have the lovely Jody Weston. Let's give her a hand.
I have a question for everybody. This is how I normally start my presentations, which is usually in front of plastic surgeons or dermatologists or med spa clinics.
We have doctors in the room.
We do? Okay. So my question is, does anyone know what carboxy therapy is? The doctor. Okay. Okay. But
Oh,
here's
Sanjeev, Dr. Sanjeev died.
is his hand up?
No, you did it. No, you did it. He's hiding. Yay! Everybody, another, Dr. Sanjeev is also, yeah, okay.
Okay, so here's the next question, because if that one is not clear, the next question is, do you know what a hyperbaric oxygen chamber is? Yes, okay. So we are starting with a product called carboxytherapy, which is a CO2 lift. Here's the little sign up here. So what happened is that in the 1100s, the Japanese samurai warriors used to bathe in carbonic springs to heal their wounds from battles. This is something you can Google. Okay, so take that fast forward into where the French took it and put it into injectables. Maybe you've seen that, I don't know, but on the internet, you can see injectables with the carbon dioxide and it blows up your skin, very painful. Fast forward to 2015, this company has now created a topical hyperbaric oxygen gel that is now transdermal and can be used anywhere on the body. That now creates no pain, no downtime, just results. So I thought, okay, so Cornelia invited me here and I was like, how is this going to relate to everyone here in this room? Okay, and I know where it is. It's the topic of the quality of life. And I'm going to say that that's a big, huge topic. But when we're talking about your skin changing and all of a sudden you look in the mirror and maybe you've got that cystic acne happening and you're like, okay, what do I do now? And you're trying everything and you can't get it to work. It plays with your mental. Makes you feel like, I don't know, I don't want to go out to a party. I don't want to go out to dinner. It changes the way that you are living your life. Okay. So now let's bring it into something else that a lot of people are, maybe it's more taboo to talk about. What happens when the intimate areas, what happens when something's off with that? Reoccurring UTIs, chronic yeast infections, things that are happening that you are going to your provider to help and to fix, but there's no solution. There's nothing that they're being able to give you that is really giving you that, I have something that can solve that problem. It's normally maybe just antibiotics or some steroids or just, well, you're going through perimenopausal. This is just a stage of life. You're going through menopause and this is what you have to deal with. Okay, and we're also including men in this because for men's intimacy, what about ED, erectile dysfunction? These are things that can play with the mental, play with your quality of life. And I thought that is what I'm going to talk about with this crowd. So what this product does is if we're going through all the different categories of women first, so like PCOS, women on prescription medication, which is causing many different things. We've got vaginal dryness, which is dysphonia. You've got women who maybe they had cancer. What are the options for them? You know, there's a lot of things that we can go through with what women are dealing with. Bladder control, right? So this company has decided to invest in published clinicals. Those aren't cheap, but to invest in published clinicals that are now able to show the science that can back up our claims. One application will provide 117% increase of hydration anywhere on the body. We have histological evidence, we have biopsies on the ability to rebuild back vaginal tissue to restore pH balance, not only to the face, but then to the intimate parts. With 5 applications, we can raise the SHIM scale, which is the SHIM, sexual health index for men, 5 to 12 points, which means anyone who's dealing with ED with just a topical that they do in the privacy of their own home is able to help that. Like what? Like, here it is. We're in the year 2025. This type of innovative technology is around. The idea is just the education on it and the awareness. So you see, Dr. Goel knows about this because we go to the providers, because this is where all of you are going to get that assistance. I need I need rejuvenation in my face. I need rejuvenation in my intimacy areas. And so he's there to help with that. But you see, when we educate and help them to get aware of a product like this, now we're talking that whole hyperbaric oxygen comparison, increase of blood flow, increase of oxygen, and to speed that healing, which puts a pin back in how this was even created in the beginning through the Japanese samurai warriors who used to bathe in the carbonic springs to heal their wounds from battle. A full circle, just like that. And this product is manufactured in Japan and the partners are. So I don't know if my time is up. I mean, it is a vast topic because we can heal a non-healing diabetic ulcer in as little as 8 days with 4 treatments. What's the name that I just said? An unhealing diabetic ulcer, which means there's nothing on the market that can heal that, but this product can. So the power that we have in our hands that comes in a little box with 2 little packets is incredible. This week alone, I've been in front of 20 surgeons, 20 plastic surgeons, telling them about this product. Half the room is using it already for mastopexy, tummy tucks, facelifts. I mean, the list is long, but why? Because it's increasing oxygen, increasing blood flow, and speeding up the healing. And what does everybody want? Less downtime. You go into Dr. Goel and you're like, okay, but I have a wedding to go to, and this is what I need. I need this, that, this, that, that. And he's like, okay, well, there's a little bit of downtime with that. But he's got this product, so he's now like, I can cut that in half. Okay? So then,
I know your time is up, but real quick for the ladies, we're going to talk about the J part.
yes, so the fact that we're able to rebuild back the vaginal tissue and for the rebalancing of the pH, that's huge. There's actually there's nothing on the market right now that can do that. So if we are talking about regenerative medicine and also accumulative medicine, that's the conversation in this industry, is what can we do that's gonna make us like the thankful products, because it's expensive.
Your wives will love it.
Yeah, what can we do that's actually going to be the bang for your buck? The things that are actually going to do what it says it does, and not just wait and hopefully after $800, honey, I need $1,600. These are the things that why you come to these events, to be educated and to be aware of, is that it works. And we're with all the top surgeons and with all the top derms and all the top med clinics like Dr. Goel, then you know it's something great. And that's why we're really happy here.
Yeah, thank you.
Great product. You did great product. Just a show. Okay, great. So, oh, amazing. So if there's any woman here that wants a demo of face, she will be able to do that. Oh, well, I do have a private room. There's no others. I've demoed the product everywhere and it's absolutely amazing. So, we're getting ready for Teresa. One moment. Yeah, Mike.
Oh,
All right, while Teresa's getting ready, do you have the, he's turning it on? Is it not on? Oh, you plugged it, okay. All right, so Teresa is an award-winning entrepreneur, speaker, and producer. Producer of the Miracle Morning movie, based on the book that has sold 3.5 million copies worldwide. She was the founder of Socialite Conference, super epic conference, I've been to it. Formerly Canada's largest entrepreneur and leadership event with guests like Sir Richard Branson, Seth Godin, and more. Her work has been featured in Forbes, recognized by the Lieutenant Government of Canada, and she was recently named Canadian Woman Entrepreneur Icon. Her life took a turn when she survived a near fatal bus accident and is called Toronto's walking miracle by the Toronto Star today. Teresa is a resiliency advocate and empowers leaders and entrepreneurs with her transformational formula and blueprint to not only rise, but thrive. So let's give it up for Teresa. I know we're getting to slide right, but amazing. Y'all having fun? You guys learning a lot? Yeah, having a good time. I'm really excited to speak to you guys today. It's a privilege. We're gonna mix it up a little. Does anybody like storytelling? Yeah, and in more in depth. Okay, check it out. What are you This works. How does it work? We're having a little bit of technical difficulty here. Does it work? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna start. Hi, everybody. Okay, so who in this room wants to be a millionaire? Raise your hand. Now, who wants to be a billionaire? Raise your hand. Let me hear the billionaires in the room. Okay. But the question is, do you actually think that you can achieve that goal if you don't have your health? No, right? The Dalai Lama has a quote that says, man sacrifices his health in order to make money, then he sacrifices his money to recuperate his health. Anybody heard of that before? Yes. Right? Right. Okay, so why are we in this game? Well, I'm going to explain a little bit about my story and the greatest fall that I had so that you leave today with tangible, actual steps around resiliency, mindset, and heart set, which is why you're all here, right? As entrepreneurs. Okay. So my story, I played the game. I was in journalism and television, and I, for 10 years, worked for CTV and Much Music. By the time I was 25, I had 9 national series under my belt, and I was making television for millions of people. However, it was empty. You ever have that thing in your life where you're like, I'm doing what I'm doing, but why am I really doing this kind of feeling, And I knew that there was more for my life. So I decided I wanted something like Oprah meets MTV meets TED. And there was nothing like that for my generation. Was there anything like that for y'all? There was nothing. So I created something called Socialite, but I spelled it LIGHT, and it stood for Leader Impacting Global Humanity Today. And what if we valued one another, not for the Prada purse that we're wearing or the Rolodex watch that we're wearing, but for the value, what if we valued one another for the impact and contribution that that person has? What if we made that cool? Now, I went from sticky idea to no. I left the world of television to launch into something called entrepreneurs. Who are my entrepreneurs in the room? Okay, most of you, amazing. So this is for you. Now, I really recognize and I appreciate the people who have had an idea and made that idea come to life. So this is my idea. I didn't know if anybody was going to come. I went from yellow sticky note to launch within 4 months. I decided my business model would be a conference. And 1,000 people showed up at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And people told me, you can't do this, biggest city in Canada, you can't launch that. And I was determined, and I knew that there was a need for our community to raise our consciousness. And so 1,000 people showed up. I'm like, I think I have a business. I'm not exactly sure, but eventually built that for 8 years. Richard Branson opened my first one, and we eventually got featured in Forbes, and I grew that nationally across Canada. I got to meet some really cool people, and like many of you, I'm sure many of you are award-winning, incredible rock star entrepreneurs in this room, and you achieve a certain level. And I got to meet some cool people. That's Mama Oprah. Y'all recognize her. If you notice, it looks like Mama Bear to Baby Bear. I'm like, wow, I look great outfit today, down to the bangles and the orange dress. And you get to this point of accomplishing that dream that you had inside of you. And then you kind of come to a pivotal point where you start to wonder, is there more? Now, most of us, when you look at the front, it looks like it's all successful, but what actually happens is you experience burnout. Has anyone ever been there? Where you're working around the clock, where you're just like, right, and it's like you're tied to your cell phone. So how do we press the reset button and realign? Now, the question is, I've met some very successful people, and I would question you right now if I was to sit with you and I'd say, great, you're making $1 million in revenue a month, whatever it might be. How's your health? How's your mental health? How are the relationships that are most important to you? How are you as a father, a husband, a wife?
a mother. How's that going? And how long do you think that you can sustain this kind of life? Is that really what the life that you want? Now, most people wait till some sort of tragedy happens for them to figure this out. And what I ended up doing was I ended up learning even more. So while I was growing my company nationally, I decided to sign with a guy named Hal Elrod. Has anybody heard of the Miracle Morning? Amazing. So there's 2 of you in the house, okay? The Miracle Morning is based on a book that sold 3.5 million copies around the world. It is a scientifically proven routine and habit formula that is almost guaranteed to change your life. It's scientifically backed. Does anyone want to learn that formula? Yeah, okay, great. We're gonna go into that. I decided to sign with Hal, and I ended up going around the world while I was building my company. And I started interviewing people like Layla Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali, who's the greatest boxer in the world. I'm like, how do you have a champion mindset? What are your morning routines and habits? And over 5 years, ended up making a movie, which is now available. It's called The Miracle Morning Movie, and all of you can watch it for free now. Anybody want that link? Okay, great. So I interviewed everyone from Robin Sharma to Robert Kiyosaki, who's, so we hung out with a lot of Louis Hayes, like Vishen from Mind Valley, all sorts of people. And I extracted, what are your morning routines? How do the most successful people create the lives that they have? So we compiled that and made that into a movie. Little did I know that everything was preparing me actually for my greatest fall. And you know how those things that happen to you in your life and you're like, now I understand why they happened? Well, I'll take you to a scene. So I'm in a room and I open my eyes. There's nurses and doctors everywhere. I look at the room and I'm like, I look at myself and I'm in the bed. And I open my eyes and the nurse with mask is looking at me. And she's like overlooking me. And I'm like, excuse me, where am I right now? And she looked at me almost like she was joking. And I was like, I almost yelled at her. I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, where am I right now? And she looked at me and she said, ma'am, you got hit by a bus. In that moment, I was like, what? Your whole world in that moment crumbles. So I was coming from Easter Sunday Mass. I only flew in Toronto. And on Queens Quay, downtown Toronto, I was hit by a bus and found crushed underneath the bus in a pool of blood. And they brought the body bag and they declared that I was dead. And then they found my heartbeat. And so they rushed me to St. Michael's emergency. And I had 8 broken ribs, frontal lobe brain trauma, you name it. Anybody been knocked down so down that they're like on their knees crying and you don't know which way to go? Anybody been there before? Yeah. Now, the reality, if you've gone through that, is that you know that there's something inside you and you will get through that. And for me, I had to learn how to walk again, talk again, breathe again, and I'm standing here with you right now. Okay? Right now, with each and every one of you. And I want to tell you that adversity is actually a treasure trail to your heart's gold. You see, whatever that thing is that knocks you down, whatever that is, you would not have discovered how resilient you are, how strong you are, and everything that you are made of had that adversity not happened to you. So I want to leave you with that. But eventually, this is my dog, Love and I, and Love and I was holding Love in my arms. And so both Love and I are called Toronto's Walking Miracle. And by the power of God on Easter Sunday, as they say, there is no resurrection without a crucifixion. And so my question to each and every one of you standing in this room is, what's your buzz? Because guess what? If you're going after these big dreams, going after the next goal, you are going to get hit by your version of a bus. Whether that's financial loss, a health diagnosis, a death, somebody saying no to you, whatever it might be, you are going to get hit by your version of a bus. And the question becomes, how do you get back up? Well, I came up with a formula called the RISE formula and group effect, which basically makes you bounce back resilient. You know what I mean? Like, you got to bounce back, right? And so basically, RISE stands for, R stands for routine. So the Miracle Morning formula, you want to get your pen and your paper out. There's a formula called SAVERS. SAVERS. I love that all the phones are out. Amazing. Okay. S stands for silence. Okay. If you pick up your phone right when you wake up, instead of picking up your phone and letting the world come to you, what if you took 1 minute just for yourself to fill you up before the rest of the world comes to you? 1 minute of silence. So that can be prayer, connecting with your heart or breath. A stands for affirmations. So you are affirming to the universe, whatever your affirmations are, they're very powerful. V stands for visualization. So instead of visualizing yourself with that six-pack that looks like J-Lo, like our beautiful previous speakers look like, they're, you're visioning yourself putting on your running shoes. You're visioning yourself going to the gym. You're visioning yourself doing the steps that you need to do to achieve that goal. So V is for visualization, E is for exercise. Clearly, we have them set up the stage and the importance of that. R is for reading. It is scientifically proven that if you read in the morning, it's good for your brain. And S is for scribing or journaling. And we recommend the 5-minute journal. And where you write 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things that would make today awesome, and your I am affirmations. I is impact one heart. And when you're in the bedridden, it's kind of like you can't even think about impacting somebody else's heart until you impact your own. So the first stage is into your heart. So you have to do things like EMDR trauma therapy. We're all walking around with all these open books, and we haven't done the work yet to heal the deep inner child trauma that is sort of leading us to live the way that we live. What would happen if you closed those books and dealt with all those things? So healing yourself, understanding what the power of the heart is. It's 40,000 neurons. The heart has 5 times the electromagnetic wave than the brain. So we actually have something called the heart brain. But how many of us are disconnected from the power of our heart? And then the compound effect that if every day you just did 1 act of kindness, whether you open the door, whether you say hello, whether you say thank you, you tell your mom you love them, the ripple compound of each one of us doing that 365 days times 1.7 billion people, can you imagine what the frequency on our planet would be? The next is spiritual consciousness, and obviously spiritual and systemic consciousness. I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for God. I know that for sure. But whatever your faith is, I invite you to deepen that relationship that you have with your faith, because any adversity that comes to you, when you believe in something bigger than yourself and a higher power, that will get you farther than you could ever go by yourself. So raising your spiritual consciousness. Systemic consciousness is sort of like understanding that we are part of the planet. So with Social Life, we focus on people, planet, profit. How do you care about profit as much as you care about the impact we make on humanity and the environment? And so how do you raise your spiritual consciousness? Next is happiness with E, which is the E for rise, which is enjoy life, because that would have been game done for me. I would have been under cement, and so whatever that thing that you have inside of you that you want to do, that you want to experience, you want to kiss that guy, you want to ask that person or say hello, you want to try to close that deal, don't wait until tomorrow, because you don't know when your last breath is. You don't know when that moment's going to be. And so, so this is the rise mindset. We're going to move you from the 0 to 100, the typical entrepreneur hustle, 0 to 100. I'm talking about doing baby steps, 1 baby step at a time. Next, going from the empty games and false image of success where everything looks good on the outside, and instead of getting to be aligned, purpose, fulfilled, and authentic happiness. Now, what would you look like? What would your life and business look like if that was actually who you were? The next is moving from the hustle culture burnout to health, healing, and heart. Now, I always say, like, how you heal yourself is how you heal the world. How you love yourself is how you love the world. And how you lead yourself in your life is how you lead the world. And so instead of, we talked about presence and present. And basically, so when you get knocked down, you want to build the rise mindset, heart set, and habits. You want to talk about your routine and really mastering that. You want to have access to your heart. And let the flowers remind you, when adversity does hit you, let the flowers remind you why the rain had to happen. Okay? Now, tapping into the potential of your heart, then you want to move into strengthening yourself with spiritual consciousness. And then once you've evolved to that, this idea of raising your frequency so that it can actually be part of a greater collective. And then lastly, enjoy life, because again, you don't know when your last breath is going to be. And this idea that your presence is your present. and we let moments just pass us by. Okay, and then, I don't know why this is, oops. Okay, so I'm launching a 4-week RISE program, and if anybody is interested in that, you can follow me on my Instagram, and you DM the word RISE, and I'm giving away a $500 one-on-one. We do like a life design, we create all sorts of things, and I open up my Rolodex of network to you as well. I'll also be at the booth at the back there, that's shaped like Bali. I just got back from Bali. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time, and I hope that my main message to you is to love now, because again, you don't know when your last moment is. And so whatever love that you can be, do, or express, to love now. Thank you.
Thank you. And where are you gonna be? Hannah? All right, you're gonna be with Preeti's, I just need to grab all the lights. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. You see, the people in this room, you have no idea who's here, which is amazing. Next speaker is Jamil from Aroga Lifestyle Medicine. Let's give it up for him.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carmelia and Jessica. So good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be joining you today. It's an honor to be in the presence of entrepreneurs that give it all every day, especially in wellness. As Carmelia mentioned, my name is Jamil from Transit Venture Capital, a strategic partner in Aroga Health Group and Aroga Lifestyle Medicine. I wanted to attend today because I really just wanted to hang out in a crowd like this, but also because Jessica told me to. And so, you know, as entrepreneurs, we juggle more balls than a circus performer, fueling our ventures with caffeine, survival on minimal sleep, and you can raise your hand if you can resonate with any of this, but considering stress as just another business partner as a way of life. But what if I told you there's a better way, and you know there is, because that's why you're here today as well, because you heard from the awesome speakers and entrepreneurs that were just here. At Aroga, we embrace the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. So that's nourishing nutrition, consistent physical activity, restorative sleep, effective stress management, meaningful social connections, and controlling harmful substances. Thinking of it as the ultimate startup toolkit. So not just for your business, but also for your well-being. And so it's a pleasure to be here, and I'll just get right into it. So Aroga is a multidisciplinary healthcare organization that operates across Canada. Our team is comprised of progressive family physicians, specialist physicians, and a diverse range of allied health professionals, which include dietitians, psychotherapists, and evidence-based practitioners. So our collaborative model ensures that patients receive a comprehensive care tailored to their unique circumstances. So we have a banner at the back, and it refers to those 6 pillars that I was just referring to. I'll be back there. And really, because the spirit of today seems to be collaboration in wellness, in healthcare, I'd also like to just indicate that there's a few ways that we could work together. And one of them is for wellness influencers that can partner with us to co-host events, workshops, expanding our collective reach. Entrepreneurs in the health and wellness space can explore cross-functional opportunities, creating a network that benefits all. And allied healthcare professionals that can either come and join the team or generally just contribute to a holistic approach to patient care. So by joining forces, we can amplify our impact and promote a culture of wellness across micro communities, but definitely beyond. And so if you're interested, then please come and connect. You can either connect with Jessica or myself, or you can just send an email to care, which is spelled normally CARE @aroga.com, but also I'll be in the back there. And so if it's co-creating content, hosting joint events, integrating services, there are numerous avenues for partnership, short-term, long-term. And we're really just looking forward to working with the industry and seeing how we can work closer together. And so that's really it. It looks like I'm a bit ahead of schedule. Not intended. I would love to have another few minutes, but this is all we have. So just like please, and you're going to get back a couple of minutes. And so,
No offense, everybody, you're my favorite speaker right now.
so really just, thank you for what you do and for everyone in the room. And let's find ways to create healthier communities around us and for Canada.
Thank you so much. I love that. All right, yeah, please note that everybody who has spoken is here, is not familiar with everybody. They have designated places. Take your time to get to know them, exchange phone numbers, LinkedIn, all the things. Okay, that was awesome. Next, Emmanuel. Ex-Googler, there is a bio, but he's just amazing and awesome, so that's all I need to tell you. And today his chat is about the thing about hard problems, and he came with a free gift for everyone.
Everybody gets
Okay, you know what, you need, Swan, this may be a little minute, are you using the judge on this room? Or no, oh, you're helping, okay.
Okay, so and it's out. Now, the only thing is, you have to, but you have to actually come closer.
Yeah, you have to come close, all right? And then what I'm gonna need from Swana after, because we don't have a mic stand, so might need to help him, his, yeah, you
I
can.
think, yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have, I'm gonna be
Okay.
very close. I'm walking around.
All right.
So can everybody hear me? Yeah. They can hear me, as long as you have something.
Yeah, hold on.
So, I'm gonna be talking about hard problems, which is every problem you can imagine, we're gonna figure out how to solve. None of you guys have hard problems.
We all did.
So I'm, not really up there. So let's get started. Now, this is a 45-minute talk, 5 minutes.
No, you got 10. You have 10.
Oh, okay.
And Emmanuel is the final speaker, by the way, so, and then we get to all mix and mingle.
Come on up, guys. Come on up. You're gonna
Come
walk.
on up.
Okay, you don't get afterwards if you don't come up. Just come up and you're gonna get back up. Okay, come closer. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about solving it. Anybody know what this is? Yeah. Okay, so you have them all right.
I can't do those things.
Mix them up. No, you're going to.
I know I can't.
Yeah, mix them up. No, no. Okay, so now, does anybody here know how to solve this? No. Okay, great. Even better. I don't even know either. So now we're going to talk about solving problems. We're not going to talk about solving problems fast. So I'm going to tell you how fast can you solve? You don't care about that. Okay, you don't care about that. So I've worked in technology for about 29 years this year. I've worked at Google. I just recently left Google to start up my stand-up career. No, wrong. I am actually doing something that I fear, which is a stand-up act next Friday, May 2nd. That's the second thing. I'm going to do one set and then I'm done. Okay, so let me show you what a world record looks like. So this is Felix Zendex from Australia, is a very good friend of mine.
Dang.
That's 4.22 seconds. Okay, wait a minute. Myron, my wife, my beautiful wife, Myron.
Oh.
That's not even the world record this long.
What?
That's okay, so if you watch Netflix, you can watch both of them on the Speed Cubers.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this little puzzle. Now, when you look at life, when you look at problems, personal problems, relationship problems, technical problems, fitness goals, all of these things, health issues, it's the exact same method. I'm going to show you how you break it down and how solving this is exactly the same as pretty much everything else. Okay, you don't believe me now, just wait. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about this problem. When you look at any problem in the world, you really have to look at it as what is really the problem. How many ways are there to solve this problem? Yell it out. It's actually on there. It's actually the answers on there. 42 quintillion ways. That's more than grains of sand on Earth. Now, why? Because it's not a two-dimensional problem. This is a three-dimensional problem. When I move one thing, it moves the other. So this is why most of our problems are three-dimensional problems. Does anybody have a problem that's 42 quintillion ways to solve it? Maybe. Probably. Yeah. I tell you right now, every single thing. Now, I've been doing this method for most of my life. When I was very young, I have ADHD, like most salespeople. Reality is, I need to figure out how people interact with me and how they need to understand me. So when I started to do this, it's, wow, that's actually exactly the way that I think about things. So I would explain to people how to solve this, and then they understood me better. Okay, make sense? Okay, let's get started. Run a lot. So let me talk about this problem. Now, this problem has 54 different stickers. So if you look at it, don't count, but it's trust me. If somebody says trust you, don't trust them. Okay, but here's the deal. There's 54 stickers. There's 26 individual pieces. Okay, so just it is correct. But there's one fundamental truth about this problem. The centers don't move. Yeah, the centers don't move. So if I look at it, white is always opposite yellow. Orange is always opposite red. Green is always opposite blue. Is that true? It's always because the center is like life. It's rules, morality, things my wife says I can't do. You have to work around that. That's just stuff. If I have a pricing problem, it's because pricing will give me a boundary. That's my center. If I have a law that I can't, I have a regulatory issue, I have a compliance issue, I have anything that I'm dealing with, that's your center that I have to work around. I can't move it. People keep moving their centers thinking that they can change it. They can't. That's just life. Time is a center. I only have a certain amount of time to do this exam. Okay, break down the problem. So let's quickly go through this. So now if the center doesn't move, then I have to look at really how many pieces are there to this problem. There's edges and there's corners and there's centers. The center doesn't move, so there's really only 3 pieces. One of them doesn't move, it works around it. So that means that I only have edges and corners. Now the other rule is if I'm worrying about edges, I don't worry about corners. When I worry about corners, I don't worry about edges. That's called distractions. Does anybody here have distractions? But that's what it is. What I'm worrying about, if I'm a doctor and I'm doing surgery and I'm worrying about doing heart surgery, am I going to worry about trying to fix the guy's sprained leg? No. Focus, focus, focus on what you have to solve. Now, the other problem is when people try to solve problems, they actually try to solve the problem. You're not. You're solving the lesson. There's only 7 lessons. Next step. This is it. This is the whole way to solve it. There's 7 lessons. First one is the white box. Now, can everybody see this? It's a little small here. Let's use this one instead. What's wrong with it? Okay, hold on. I gotta take this off because this is actually disgusting. Thank you very much. Everybody see this? This one. So for all the fitness buffs, I'm telling you right now, this is a workout. I'm just letting you know. I will sweat. Okay, now. Okay, here we go. Maybe. So here's the deal. If I'm worrying about the edges, so let me ask a question. If this is white, I'm going to ask questions. You have to yell it out. If this is white, center. Centers don't move. That means everything goes around. That's your map. What color does the side have to be? White. If this is orange, what color does this side have to be? Orange. If this is blue, what color does this side have to be? Blue. See, you're all doing very well. So that's just your guide. That just the center, if I have a rule, I have to go around it. That's just telling me what goes in that spot. That's it. So now, the very first lesson is white cross. That's it. All I have to do is move the edges where they are. So again, I'm doing this fast, so today you won't probably learn. But if I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, okay, I want this, and I need to move it up here. But look, if I move it up, look what happens. It doesn't go up. But if I move it to the middle layer, then move it towards me, then move it up, look what happens. I have a white cross. And now, here's the other thing. You just did it. Can I solve the problem if I'm doing this? Why? We cannot focus. Well, it's not focus, it's I have no orientation. So this is orientation. Because well, yeah, that's right. But now I have to have orientation. So if white is up and yellow is to the floor, that's my orientation. That's my right, that's my left, that's my back, that's my front, that's my bottom layer, that's the middle layer, that's the top layer. Everybody understand? That's just orienting your problem. Okay? So now, if I ask this question, a lot of people get this wrong. Is this a white cross? Is this a white cross?
Yes.
Is this a white cross? Yes. What did I say the second rule was? No. What did I say the second rule was? When you worry about edges, you don't worry about corners. When you worry about corners, those are distractions. You got distracted. Okay, so that's fine. So this is all I'm doing. I'm solving the white cross. So that's literally what I'm doing. But again, I can have a corner there. It's no problem. That's it. I'm going to turn this upside down. Okay. So white is on the bottom, yellow is on the top. I'm actually going to start solving in this way. Now, if I did the edge, so if I take a look at that, that is white, This is green. This means that anything between white and green, that's where it belongs, right? This is white and red. Everything between red and white, that belongs there, right? Now, corners are 3 pieces, so let's take a look at this. Let me ask this question here. What color is this? What color is this? Not a trick question, right? Blue. What color is this? What color is this? And white. So this belongs between blue and red, correct? And white. So I'm literally going to move it down. Look, it's there. You see, it's in the spot. Okay, but now I'm going to do it again. So now let me ask you a question. So what color is this? What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? So this belongs between these two, right? Right. And white is at the bottom, so I'm going to put it there. Now all I'm going to do, so I'm going to literally move it in spot. Look what I just did. See, I'm going to do it again. I need to work out with a stretch later. Okay, so same thing. What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? This belongs between orange and green, and at the bottom. So I literally am putting it there, and look what I just did. I just got that. There's only one left, so where does this belong? It just belongs where it's left, right? So I'm literally going to take this, put it, and look what I just did. Okay? First layer. What's that layer? That could be setting up your fitness routine. That could be setting up your nutrition. That could be setting up your business schedule for the day. That's just your first layer. But watch what you're going to do. Now, that's the second lesson. First lesson. Now I'm going to teach you one thing. This is actually the last lesson, but I'm going to teach it now. So if I take a look at this, this is, let me do the, green and red, right? So when somebody does something fast, it's not necessarily that they're doing it really magical. There's nothing magical. They're just doing it because they have muscle memory. I have muscle memory. I know what I'm doing, right? But if I watch this, so I'm going to watch, I'm going to move this here, then I'm going to move it here, then I'm going to move it here, then I'm going to move it here, here, and then back here. When I do that, it just flips it twice. So if I do it, watch what happens. Follow the white, following it. No. It's not. I'm not doing anything fantastical. But when I'm doing it, watch what happens. Every single time it goes in that bottom, it just flips, but it's back. So you see what I just did it fast, but it's the same pattern. There's nothing different. If I'm tying my shoe, you guys, you need to look at tying your shoes. You can do it without it's the same thing. Okay. So now, third lesson, very important. This was very humbling for me. So this lesson is now, if I have to solve the second layer, what do I got to do? I have to look for, is this a corner or an edge? It's an edge, 2 colors. So anything that, what's on the top? What color is this? So anything that is yellow belongs on the top. It doesn't belong in the middle. So power deduction, anything that is not yellow belongs in the middle layer. Okay, let's take a look at this. What color is this? What color is this? So what color is this? What color is this? So this, I just have to move this here. You have a screwdriver? I'm not going to do it. Okay, but so this is what it is. Now, I taught this to a 9-year-old autistic boy. I don't want to call him autistic. He was diagnosed autistic, but he's probably smarter than all of us here. But he basically taught me a lesson. He taught me this lesson. You know who that is. Here's what he taught me. He said, Emmanuel, you taught me how to do the cube. He's having problems at school, problems with authority, problems with fighting all the time. People don't understand him. So I taught him the cube. He went back to school. The teacher calls his mother. Says, what did you do? This is not the same boy. What happened? We just put structure around his thought pattern. That's it. Now he came back to me and he said, you taught me the third lesson. I got really stuck there. So I needed to get unstuck. So I taught myself a different way to do it. Okay, no problem. Show me. So he said, okay, follow this. This is blue and orange. This is blue and orange. This belongs here. So I'm allergic to it. It's a bit gruesome. I build a snowman, head, body, thorax. Head, body, thorax. White. Head, body, thorax. Take the head off the body of the snowman, bury the body, put the head back on the snowman. Look what I just did. That's his way of solving it. It's just the snowman technique was him. It's just the way you visualize it. Neurodistinction, very important. Not neurodiversity, not neurodistinction. Just means everybody learns differently. I learn differently than everybody, right? Same thing. Okay, so now let's take a look. I'm going to do the same thing. Let me ask. What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? This goes here, right? Because this belongs between green and orange, right? That's it, simple. So I'm going to take this. I got to go here. I'm allergic to it. So I go to the opposite side. I build a snowman, take the head off the snowman, bury the body, put the head back on the snowman, and then I bury the snowman. That's it. I got it. Now I have to do this quick because we're running out of time. So now this one's already, these two are already in the spot. So I basically have to kind of get these out of the spot. So I'm going to get them out of the spot. And then I'm going to put it back in. So now let's see. Oh, I took it out. Okay, there. I'm going to ask back there. What color is this? Okay. So yeah, what color is this? What color is this? What color is this? What color is this? So this belongs here. So I'm allergic to it. I build a snowman. I bury the body, put the snowman back on the body, and then I have one left. Let's do this quick here. So I got red and blue, trust me, this is red and blue, this belongs here. So I'm taking this, I'm allergic to it, build a snowman, bury the body, put the snowman back on the body. Now look what I just did, I got my second layer. Right, okay? What was the first lesson I taught you? White cross, what's opposite white? So I just have to build a yellow cross, that's it. Next lesson. So I do this twice. I'm just doing it quickly. So I can, and it's just a pattern. I don't teach algorithms, by the way, because I don't like people memorizing things. Let me give you a story of this. My wife knows this as well. I have one of my sons reading to him every night. Smartest kid in the world. Goes to school, have the parent-teacher interview. He's failing reading. What? How could he be failing reading? We read him every night and he reads to us. What's going on? Because what he was doing was just memorizing what we were reading to him and just regurgitating. So that's why it's not always good to memorize everything. It's about comprehension. Okay? That's why I teach about comprehension with this. So now, limber up. Okay, so now I have the corners left. So remember the second lesson I taught you about the corner, where I just did that magical thing? I'm just going to do the same thing because this is in the right spot. But look, it's just messed up. It's in the right spot. This is yellow, orange, blue. This is orange and blue and yellow. This belongs there. It's just messed up. So I'm literally going to take it and I'm just going to move it around. I'm going to move it down and that's it. And then now when I take a look at the you know, what I have to do, Myra, how much time do I have left? Can you guys count it down?
10.
So, I'm going to just talk about this. Like puzzles are everywhere in the world. And I met Erno Rubik. I actually am very proud to say that I did a Google Talk with him in London, UK last year in November. I was very, very proud. He's 80 years old. He's kind of really old. He's very difficult to work with. But once I found that he loved table tennis, and I had a game with him and I let him win, all of a sudden we became best friends. But anyways, he did that talk with me and he said, I'm retiring. You are the very last interview I'm doing. So if you go, we'll talk, you can see it. But let me just explain to you why this is important. Really, really quick. Next slide. Okay, I taught this to captains of industry, Citibank, MasterCard, Salesforce.com, TD. Vipul, who's a very good friend of mine at TD, called me one day and he says, Emmanuel, I hear you do the cube. I want you to teach my son. I said, oh, I'm happy to teach you, but you got to learn with him. So I said, get a cube, order on Amazon. All these were ordered by Amazon. They came 20 minutes before I came because they were supposed to be for the US. Right, and because China basically had tariffs, they sent them to me instead. So we have to. Okay? I'm not to do that. I'm getting ready for China. Okay? I'm not going to use that joke. Okay, but here's the deal. So I taught him, and basically calls me up Saturday. He gets it. Okay, Saturday morning. I just gave him the exact same lesson. There's 7 lessons. Every lesson I taught you is there. It's all online. You can find it at thingaboutHardProblems.com or just search on me on LinkedIn, connect with me. But he then, and I said, here's the deal. You will get stuck 3 times. This problem, I know exactly where you're going to get stuck. Lesson 3, lesson 5, lesson 7. Guaranteed. You will give up. But if you knew in advance that there was a way to get past it, then you know that you're not struggling. You just have to kind of repeat, say, how do I get help? So this is, I offer this to everybody. At Google, I've taught now, and I actually have proof of this because I have that, I created a Cube Club, which is a site for everybody to learn. And I have 16,842 individual users at Google that learned through my method. Very simple. It's a basic method. It's not a steep method. But I said, but here's the deal. You could call me anytime, day or night, weekends, doesn't matter. And you attest this. I will pick up the phone. Here's the problem. You can't call me unless you just go back to the lesson that you're stuck on the video. 60 seconds. Does everybody have 60 seconds here? Right? So you just have to look at the video again and repeat, that's all. And if you get that and you still stuck, then call me. How many people? I've taught 38,000 people. How many people do you think have called me on my phone personally? And I give my phone freely. How many people do you think have called me? No, more than 0. 4. Nichols one of them. But Sunday night, 10 o'clock at night, he's stuck. Can't get past it, has to start all over again. 7th lesson, doesn't know what he's doing wrong. All it was orientation. He just didn't realize that he was moving the cube too much and he couldn't get his left, right, up and down, right. So he was solving on the wrong side. It was a whole bunch of things, but it was just orientation. By 11:30 that night, he had solved it. He wrote an article about how it changed the way he does leadership. Okay? Now I do this, and my wife and myself will attest this. We do this for our kids, mastery, and we have 3 amazing kids. Next slide. For a second, I'll just very quickly. Actually, this is so I did a Guinness Book of World Records just by Ernal Fox. Oh, Tracy Schmidt. She's one of my most famous students. You're going to meet her one day. Carmela, you're going to meet her, right? So Tracy Schmidt is one of my favorite students. We did this at the Fairmont Hotel in front of a bunch of Republicans mainly. I don't know why, but they're all from the US. Anyways, but they're some military folks. We did this, and she was there and talked about this. But she's climbed the Himalayas. She's a competitive downhill skier. She is a competitive sailor in a very male-dominated sport. She represented Canada, the only one to represent Canada in Australia 3 weeks ago. She's amazing. By the way, I forgot to mention, she's a quadruple amputee. No arms, no legs, no hands, no feet. It took me 6 months to teach her how to solve the cube, but she solves it now for me. No problem. But that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that. I do have very famous kids. You can go through that. That's my daughter, Jenilyn and Rika. Yeah. But they use the exact same method to do TV shows. To do yeah. That's them. But my son, who races electric cars, my youngest son is a voiceover actor, and he's about to do a movie with Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, in June in LA. But again, all of this is exactly the same method. Just start with the basics. Figure out what your problem is, narrow it down, find out where your edges are, find out where your corners are, work around the centers, build layer by layer, and then get help. Guys, anybody offering macros?
Thank you, and thank you for the Rubik's Cube. That's amazing.
Now, if you ever want to do these sessions for your corporation, call me. I'm happy to. First one's free. Second one will cost.
All right. Round of applause again for Emmanuel. Don't go anywhere. Stay here. Can we give all the Jessica? I think I know many of the guests here, so there's my flyer right there for one of my businesses, which is matchmaking. I do have my studio here, so if you are looking to do a podcast, talking head video courses, come see me. We'll give you a tour. Jess, I'll let you introduce yourself. Here you go. And then all the speakers can come to the front. We want to take a group photo.
So I actually work out of the space, so thank you so much for coming. I am not into health and wellness industry, but I am into health and wellness. I'm actually a mortgage broker, so the way we collaborated actually was entrepreneur burnout, and I'm pretty sure every single person here can relate to that, especially my people in real estate. Like, it's been a journey and a half for all of us, and I see you nodding your head. But so that's the reason me and Carmelia asked me to collaborate. I also host events here. Some of the people I've collaborated with are also here. So we decided to do a collaborative event here, and I think this is a perfect topic. It doesn't go to a specific industry, it applies to everyone. So I appreciate Carmelia for bringing me on and collaborating on this. And thank you so much for VentureX for giving us this space. And if you guys are, interested, definitely check out the space when you guys have a chance. And yeah, let's get all the speakers up here.
Thank you. Yes, and because this is the event space for everyone who does have a business, if you want to coordinate your own event here, reach out to Jessica and I, and we will make that happen. And Dawn, will you join us in our picture as well? Okay, go to the gentleman's room then. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna just take a group photo with the speakers. So you know who everybody is, and you can go see them individually, and now we can all mix and mingle. All right. Kayla, I know I'm gonna take the photo, but then you can turn the music back on. We want to hold on, we'll do the speakers and everything.
Ready?
Holy cameras, which one?
Which camera are we looking at first?
Okay,
This side first.
Okay, here first, 1 second. All right. Perfect.
I don't feel like
one movie one? Boomerang or something?
That one there now?
Which one?
Communicate, please.
Autographs.
Okay.
And then over here, oh, one more? Pedro?
I know.
Did you get the things off?
Yeah. Who's the last speaker? Emmanuel.
Give him the mic.
Okay, Emmanuel was. How to turn on his computer?
Okay, so that's good. You want to give them.
Yes. Okay. Wait there. Oh. There's the mic. Men's bathroom.
Oh, why do I?
I don't know. Wait.
There's a raffle that's being done in that corner, so if you haven't gotten your tickets, I will do that right now.
What should be left in? The fuck?
Oh.
So annoying. Oh, Dr. Sanjeev is him in the suit. Oh,
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Did I touch the music? Where's Kayla?
You closed it. I don't know. Somebody texted.
Why would you do that? Why?
It was playing this. Hey, did you stop the live stream? I don't know. Did you stop? You're still live. I don't know how.